Hi there piglets, it's me, Brody, otherwise known as Porcine, and welcome to another episode of the Golden Pig Review Show. It's been a couple of weeks since we've spoken. I hope you still have room in your heart for me. If you haven't caught the show before, here's how it works. I pick 3 tracks from the week's submissions. I play them in no particular order, give a little bit of feedback after each one. Stuff I liked, stuff I didn't like, anything that made me want to impale myself with a hi-hat stand. Then, at the end, I pick one track, the one I enjoyed the most, and award it the Golden Pig Award. It's a pointless award really, but it's a bit of fun for all of you playing at home. Let's take a look at the first track. Our first track for this week comes to us from Dallas, Texas, from an artist named NW5 Prophetic. The track is titled Lucy Cries with No One to Vent To. It's a hip hop track. I really enjoyed this one and I hope you do as well. Let's take a listen now.
Children of your guidance, feel the devil adopted us, trying to ascend, but I see that they steady blocking us. Adopted the religion from same niggas who stopping us. The state of mind that every nigga want the capital. They oversee the tactical, material is invaluable. The same niggas on dollar bills were slave on us. So in a way we still slave to a slave owner, giving us the books, but they steady flipping a page on us. Mind locked in a cage, let's start breaking the chains on us. And I'm a threat to niggas, I'm on their ass. Yeah, bitch, I'm coming, they know that I'ma surpass. Guess I'm Marty McFly, I know I'm living in the past. Cut the beat, dissect the words, I'm a scientist in the lab. Smoking and the drinking is poison into the mind. It's part of the design to stop a state of divine. Install it in our mind, they got us moving robotic. The brainwash is real, goddamn, it's so hypnotic. Hate the devil of the one who created them, that's the logic. Ain't that kinda ironic, cut the games and keep it honest, And every song that I get on, I fucking snap, nigga. Listen to them rap niggas, let them know that I rap, niggas. Sleeping on me, pop up Freddy Krueger, fuck a nap, nigga. A lot of shit, I ain't even gotta mention it. The mind is petty, limitless, equivalent to omnipotence. Break down your religion and stole it from hieroglyphics. The information encrypted. Fear is great for control to keep us in mental prisons. Just keeping us as statistics. Reverse psychology twisted, forever victim assistance. The organs from organisms, agenda capitalism. And I think I ended here cause I'm tired of talking to niggas that never get it to listen. Deceiving us from an image, influence from ancient Kemet. Information not hidden, just study it when I give it. A beautiful lie and a beautiful lies. I capitalize, I maximize the facts from lies like criminal minds. I finish the time to get to the minds. I cut out the eyes and eat it for life. Swift shit, man. That swift shit, that fire shit. Bad. Abandoned, rejected, shamed, hated, pain, caged as an outcast. Ain't that how you make a demon? A devil?
Okay, so that was Lucy Cries with No One to Vent To by NW5 Prophetic. Good stuff. I love the dark atmosphere of the whole track. You know, everything from the way it starts, just like that solid, just creepy atmosphere of the beat, to the lyrical themes and that little spoken section right at the end with the pitch shifter providing a lower octave copy of the voice. It just all comes together in this one sort of very tense and dark package. Really like the atmosphere. Vocal wise, I found the vocal flow to be very impressive, but still had a kind of like a relaxed feel to it. So it's not like someone just going both barrels the whole way through. It was just good, just really well delivered. Also thought that the lyrics were quite deep. There's certainly some conscious elements in there. Some intense subject matter. Just like vocally and lyrically, really, really solid, which I always enjoy in a hip hop track. I thought the overall mix of the track was really solid. Vocals are clear, but not completely overshadowing what's going on in the beat. Everything is just together in the best possible way. And also that like little quick fire section towards the end of the lyrics was really, really solid as well. So great track, NW5 Prophetic. Our next track comes to us from an artist named Gribbles out of Nottinghamshire in the UK. Gribbles is a very, very experienced amateur musician, has made music for quite a long time, off and on. Many years to be in fact. The track is titled Existence, and it's an electronic track. It's kind of got elements from many of the electronic greats over the last 30 years mixed in there, sort of, your Gary Newmans and whatnot. Instrumental track, I rather enjoyed it. I think it's quite a solid piece of work. We'll take a listen and I'll give the detailed feedback on the other side.
I am speaking on this occasion not as a member of Western democracy, but as a human being, a member of the species man, whose continued existence is in doubt. continued existence is in doubt.
Okay, so that was Existence by Gribbles out of the UK. The good stuff. I love the overall production quality of that track. It's very well put together. There is a pretty broad spectrum across the frequencies, but still a bit of a heavy low end in the mix, which is always nice, but some good top end clarity as well. I love the sweet little melodies and counter melodies that play together throughout that track. I think there's a lot of merit in how those were put together. I really liked how they sounded. Particularly, you may have seen my face light up a few times. There's this little sort of weird melody with a couple of very strange sounding intervals in how it mixes with some of the other synths, and it just, I don't know, it just really worked for me in a very good way. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, anyone who's watched this a few times knows that I like weird. Well, that was weird, that little part there, and that's, you know, the bit that really got me over the line for picking this one for this week. So, good stuff. I love the dialogue samples and the fact that they tie back to the title of the track. I thought was a nice touch, you know, and the focus in how they were used, so that you could always hear the bit about the continued existence of the species. It's just nice, just really works. And you're never starved for variation with that track. You give them plenty of it. There's lots of changes, subtle and in your face, yeah, both types, which is good. It's just a good flow to the track. I think it totals in at somewhere around 5 minutes, but it felt like a breeze for me, really. It was really enjoyable to listen to. The only thing that I didn't enjoy, and I did enjoy it at first, but I felt like it just dragged on a little bit, was those, I don't know how to best describe it, the little drop-offs towards the end of certain phrases. It was a section that was repeated twice throughout the entire track, and at the end of each bar or couple of bars, each repeat of the phrase, it just sort of trails off that I liked it at first, but it kind of just wore on after a while, and that's just for me. You know, I think it fits with the track, to be sure, but I just got a little bit over it by the time I listened to the song a few times, the track a few times rather. So yeah, take that as you will. It's just it just felt a little repetitive, that one tiny bit. Overall though, Existence by Gribbles is a great track. If you like this kind of music, definitely check out the link in the description for some more. Alright piglets, our final track for this week comes to us from Scotland, from Chainsaw Dave, which is a fucking great name, to say the least. The track's called Old Time Jive, and Chainsaw Dave specialises in beat making, so it's another instrumental track, but just the cool and somewhat unique sound of it is really the thing that made me want to listen to it. So check this out. I'll tell you what I thought, and I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Yeah, this is Old Time Jive by Chainsaw Dave. So that was Old Time Jive by Chainsaw Dave. Good stuff. I just love that blend of sort of like the old-timey big band instrumentation with like that driving modern beat. It just kind of clicks together in a nice but unexpected way. So really solid there. I felt that there was a lot of pleasant, subtle variation, you know, just like an extra line, not hugely obvious, but just buried a little bit in the mix that came and went throughout the track, which, you know, alleviated, alleviated the repetition a little bit. That little filter play thing in the tail of each repeat of the general beat is kind of cool. The funky little delay organ or piano or keys or whatever it was, that, you know, that little delay thing, that very cool, like that. On that little bit of a, you know, filter tweak or filter play or sweep, if you will, it's probably the one thing that I would say is I didn't enjoy about this track is that tail, despite lots of good variation throughout, that tail is quite repetitive. I mean, it's an instrumental track. There's always a risk of having some elements that do get a little bit repetitive. It is a short track, so it's not too much of a burden, but I probably would have loved to have heard just a teeny bit more variation in those tails. Otherwise though, great track, and I love the sound. Love the sound. Very keen to check out more stuff from Chainsaw Dave, as should you, by following the link in the description. You'll also find more cool music from the other 2 acts that were played this week. Alright, piglets. We've had 3 tracks, all, you know, on the similar playing field quality-wise, I would say. All very cool, very good, all had a lot going for them. But we can only have 1 Golden Pig winner. For this week, overall, I decided that I would give it to Lucy Cries with No One to Vent To by NW5 Prophetic. The main reason for this is just that, yeah, that impressive vocal flow, for one. You know, it just really got me. The lyrics, the vocals, even, you know, just that creepy, weird atmosphere to the beat, it all just worked in the best possible way. It's not to say that the other tracks didn't work, but for me, that one worked the best. So, for this week, NW5 Prophetic is the Golden Pig winner. Tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your therapist. If you have music that you would like featured on the show, let me know where to find it. Drop a link on one of my weekly submission threads on Twitter. Those usually start Tuesday or Wednesday. Send me an email to porsignmusic@gmail.com. Check the description on how to spell that. You know, send me a message on Facebook, on Twitter, however you want to get in touch. Just let me know where to find your music. If I decide to play it on the show, I will ask you for an MP3 or WAV audio file to include on the video. Until next week, I've been Brody, otherwise known as Porcine, and please send me your shit.